What if you don't need to live in pain and suffering? What if you could give up your karma and have a life of abundance and joy? What if you could start creating magic and miracles that you never thought were possible? Get ready to listen, share, and experience the magic that is you. Now, here's the host of Creating Abundance with Ease radio show, Dr. Helen Gitlevich.
Welcome, I'm Dr. Helen Gitlevich on Creating Abundance with Ease, and today our show is where or when did you lose yourself? Are you being you or are you like everyone? Where are you not choosing you? Or did you actually totally lost yourself and don't even know who you are? Are you trying to fit in? Let's look at all of this through the kind of like prism or tools of access consciousness and Akashic Records. I'm actually a medical doctor by education. I was born in Russia, came to America when I was a kid. So I literally went through college, medical school in Chicago, and practiced for 10 years as a family doctor. And I was under a lot of stress. Part of owning the business, part medical field in America, part marriage, part a lot of other stuff, and not knowing who I am. That was kind of like part of the whole scenario. So when I was always searching for myself through different modalities, different spiritual guidance, spiritual practices, only to kind of like some of them worked for a little bit, some of them didn't work. And I've done it since I was a kid. And now I'm facilitating classes around the world. I'm doing podcasts. I'm doing a lot of things and starting to write my book. I actually was published. One of the chapters was published in Having Ease with Money a few years ago as part of collaboration with different people. It's a journey. But what I'd like to talk to you about, look at your life. Are you actually doing and being you? Is what you're kind of like doing every day gives you joy? Are you having fun? A lot of people, when I have clients coming in through Akashic Records or Access Consciousness, let's talk about Akashic Records because it's easy. Akashic Records is actually a chronicle of your life, all the possibility, all the thoughts, feelings, and emotions, past, present, and future, all simultaneously presented. And people ask, what's my purpose? And I haven't heard anything else other than one answer for everyone. The purpose is to have fun, to have joy, to enjoy your life. That's the purpose of life. That's your purpose in life. Because when we are having fun, when we have joy, that is a higher vibration. This is acoustical vibration according to Access Consciousness that was created by Gary Douglas and co-created with Dr. Dane Hare. It's pretty much when we are in our thoughts, feelings, and emotions, those are the lowest vibration, electrical vibration of this reality. And you say, but what about happiness? It's emotion. Happiness is space of being. It's when you're being you. That's when you are that space of joy. And that's what Akashic Records talk about too. That's the purpose of life, being us, having joy, having happiness, being happy. That's our innate birthright, it's our innate drive. That's what we are drive to. Like anytime when you even like desire a new thing, new dress, new coat, new car, new house, it brings you joy, doesn't it? And that's what the purpose is. It doesn't, it can be material, it doesn't have to. Because a lot of things that brings us joy has nothing to do with things. It's when we see our loved ones, when we're having sex or great sex, when we're kissing, when we are enjoying nature. Right now, I'm looking through the window and there are kids playing outside. I'm actually living next to, I think it's a grade school, or it's first through fifth grade, first through fourth grade. So we have swings, we have a lot of things that kids are playing, and they're having fun. So what happens between being a child and growing up? When did we become serious? When the things became important and significant? Where is that tradition of, oh, a child can have fun, but as an adult, you have to be serious. You have to know your purpose. You have to work hard to earn money, and you have to provide. All those isms or all those kind of like cliches that you hear, are they actually true? Or are they there to control us? That's why the topic of today, where or when did you lose yourself? How old you were when you stopped having fun? For some people, it might be 10. For some people, it's 5. For some people, it's 1 year old. When something happens in your family, you pick up their emotions. You pick up their feelings. If parents go through divorce, if they're arguing, if there is death in the family, doesn't matter what's going on in the family, because there is always problem, maybe money problem. The child picks it up, and then they lose themselves in the emotions of others. One of the amazing tools of access consciousness is who does it belong to? It actually exists in Akashic Records to return other people's energies through prayer. But this one is also very easy and very simple. You just ask, who does it belong to, and return it back. Doesn't matter when you picked it up. It might be when you were in utero. Right now, observing my daughter being pregnant and getting the sense of the baby, it literally a unique being that picks up everything, reacts to his mom eating certain things he likes, certain things he doesn't, and he lets her know. He's not even born, but he's already has a sense of himself. And yet, some of us right now as an adult have no idea who we are. So let's play with that tool, who does it belong to? Just scan your body, because even things like pain, itching, or nausea can be not yours. Would you be willing right now, just have a little wonder like a child? Not serious, not kind of like, oh, I'm going to do that. No, just a wonder. I wonder, who does all of this belongs to, all those feelings and emotions? Whew, feel lighter. Return whatever is not yours to whoever gave it to you. And some people afraid to send it back. They are in the mode, oh no, it will harm them. No, you actually took it away from them. That's not yours. You're a little thief. Yes, you're a thief. You took their thoughts, feelings, emotions, and pain and hoarding it right now. Because you think you're doing good by carrying it through your life, all those problems and feelings and emotions. It's theirs. It's like taking somebody else's computer or phone or iPad or just any device that's locked because it doesn't belong to you. You can't do anything with that. It's locked. You're just carrying it. Just imagine yourself carrying millions of computers on your back or in your hands. Wouldn't it make you tired? So who does it belong to? All those thoughts, feelings, and emotion, all those computers, all those algorithms that you picked up from other people, or even things, or Earth. Would you return it back? They can deal with that. They can solve their problem. But if you took it away, they cannot use it. They need to recreate it or create something maybe even worse. So let's return it back. Who does it belong to? Whew. And send it back. Return back to from where you came from. Because a lot of this might not be even from the person you took it away from. That person might have took it from somebody else, and the other person took it from somebody else. We're returning it to the source. And whatever source is, might not be even this lifetime. Because we've lived many lifetimes. We've been around thousands, millions of years, different planets, different galaxies, different universes and realities. And yet we're so focused on this lifetime, on this body. And by the way, body has its own mind. It's, well, not mind, but it has its own consciousness. And that consciousness plays with you to create that which is a being without the body cannot. I'm reading a very interesting book right now. I like fantasy. It's about magic. It's about different reality. And there, the main character ends up in Neverland, which is a place where all the kind of like evil souls or people who didn't finish their contracts or something like that end up where there is infinite potential that they cannot have. They cannot act, they cannot touch, they cannot do anything. And that creates even more anger and stuff, more like that negativity we talk about. But in the world of living with a body, we can create so much, and yet we suppress ourselves, we lose ourselves, we not choosing ourselves and not choosing to have fun. Yeah, time flies, and this is time for our first break of the show. When we return, we'll talk more about all of this. And you've been listening to Creating Abundance with Ease with myself, Dr. Helen Gitlevich, on Inspired Choices Network. We will be right back.
Many of us live our lives based on karma, on the past, and all the unfinished business in our lives. What would you choose if you did not have karma, or if you could choose what you desired instead? By tuning into Creating Abundance with Ease radio show with Dr. Helen Gitlevich, you'll receive tools and inspiration you can use to create the abundance in your life. You are an infinite being with infinite choices. Are you ready to have ease with creating abundance? Listen for Creating Abundance with Ease radio show every Wednesday at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 11 a.m. Central, 10 a.m. Mountain, and 9 a.m. Pacific on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com.
Are you a subject matter expert? Are you here to share your expertise with an audience waiting to hear from you in only the way you can deliver? Are you ready to have your voice amplified across the airwaves? Inspired Choices Network has a global radio platform streaming to millions of people across the world. Professionally produced and supported by an accomplished team every step of the way, you can broadcast from anywhere in the world, knowing your voice matters, and we ensure it is delivered with ease and efficiency. Eager to hear your message, the world awaits. Contact us today to become an Inspired Choices Network radio host. Email become a host at inspiredchoicesnetwork.com.
This is the Creating Abundance with Ease show with Dr. Helen Gitlevich. To participate in the program, join our live studio audience in our chat room at inspiredchoicesnetwork.com. You can also make the choice to ask or comment by email by sending to helen.g@att.net. Now, back to the program.
Welcome forward, everyone. I'm Dr. Helen Gitlevich on Creating Abundance with Ease on Inspired Choices Network. And today our show topic is, where or when did you lose yourself? And in the first part, we were talking about the who does it belong to too, because a lot of things do not belong to us, but we incorporate it into our being, our body, and that's part how we lose ourselves and not being ourselves. And if you speak Russian, I did a wonderful show in Russian about being infinite or being like everybody else, being kind of like that mediocre. So at which point do we try to fit in? Because as kids, as I was talking in the first part, we're everything. We're like in that space of wonder. What is that? Why? What is that? Why? And everything is fun. The clouds moving. Oh, that cloud looks like an elephant. Oh, this cloud looks like that. Playing in the sand, playing with waves in the ocean. Everything is just joy and fun. And yet, at a certain point, we become serious. So where is that point for you? When is that point for you and why? And what if it's not even important? What if now is the time to choose something different? And I'm not telling you to go and become a child like and just do nothing and just play in the sand and ignore everything else. No, this is about internal workings where we enjoy every moment. Doesn't matter if we are working, even at the work that we don't like. What if we can find those moments where we like it? Or change it. What if it's that simple? It's like, oh, that doesn't work for me anymore. And maybe it's something to change at work, or maybe it's looking for something else to do. Like for me, being a physician for many years, I loved treating patients, but there were aspects of my practice which I hated. One of them was paperwork. I was overwhelmed with writing the charts, checking them, dictating them, notifying. It was like such a, or making sure that the insurance covers, insurance doesn't cover, talking to different like pharmacy, insurance agents. That part was not part of actual treating the patients, healing, and having fun at that. Because when I was actually practicing, talking to the patients, examining them, treating them, that was fun. That was amazing. I was so grateful. I was like a child in a way that I was connected to all energies in that moment. I didn't know that at that time. I just was happy when I was treating patients. But when I would take that chart, my mood would plummet it down. When I had to call the insurance agents to approve either hospital stay or medication, there was a point where I was talking to insurance because they didn't approve a medication. It was an antibiotic. And one of the questions she asked me was like, is the patient in the hospital? That was the third time I changed it. And because they didn't cover it. And I'm like, if you don't cover it, she will be, or he will be. It was such an insane system that it created so much stress. And that was almost 80% of my work because I had my own practice. So I had to deal with business aspect, all of that. I had no idea about your business at that time. Certain aspects I enjoy, certain aspects I didn't. I even tried to hire different people, but didn't work out until I got a message from Akashic Records. Maybe it's time to switch. Maybe it's not working as well. At that time, I'm kind of like, I cannot leave my patients. I need the source of income, all of that. And eventually ended up with open heart surgery because my body says, that's it. You're done. Choose something else or die. And that's a lot of times the thing that we choose. Not cognitively, not consciously, because it's at the point where we say, I cannot live like that. And that I cannot live like that, it's either you change your life or you die. That's when the cancer, heart disease, major terminal illness starts creating in the body. And if you change at that moment, everything changes. And so after the surgery, I actually chose something else. That's why I'm here with you 20 years later and enjoying life through the practice of access consciousness, Akashic Records, different other modalities I like to use or play with, and not taking things seriously, or at least most of the time. And if I do, I can like, oops, did it again. And what am I going to choose now? Because it's not about being perfect. It's not about being that holy person that doesn't do anything wrong, doesn't judge themselves, doesn't judge people. Yeah, right. No, we're still in the body. We're still beings. We still have our mind and a lot of our points of view, which with access with Akashic Records, you start letting go. And yet there are certain ones that still stick you until you allow it to move. And a lot of times I'm so happy when limitations come in because I know that's when I can let them go. I don't judge myself as much as I used to. And it creates that kind of like, oh, recognition. Okay, I'm not being me. Because being me, I know, is that happy place, that space of wonder, the space of when everything is possible. It's a space of magic. The more we are being us, the more magic being created in the world, not just in our lives, but the lives of others. You know how everything is contagious. And I'm not talking about viruses. Well, happiness is a virus too. Consciousness is a virus too. So what if we actually got infected with the virus of consciousness and happiness? Would you choose that? That's actually the virus that creates life. The more happy we are, the more endorphins we create, the more the happy hormones we create, the healthier our body becomes. It's simple. And if we're in the presence of somebody who is sad, upset, angry, what happens to us? unless we're very vigilant about who we are and know who we are, we pick up that virus of angry, virus of unhappiness, depression, and we feel that. Part of it because we're SpongeBob for the emotions, feelings, and thoughts of other people, we pick them up. Part of it is sensing it. We sense them. We don't have to take them on. If we are in a space of being, we're kind of like, oh, this person is upset. Oh, this person is angry. This person is this, that. But we don't have to take it on. I remember when I was kind of like next to a person who was drinking heavily and she was going to sleep and I started getting sleepy. And I'm like, oops, nope, return back to sender, who does it belong to? And I was fine. It's so funny. I think it was a couple of months ago, or maybe even less. My daughter and I went to a restaurant where there was a bar. It was during the day, it was lunchtime, and I went to the bathroom, and the bathroom was behind the bar. I started getting dizzy, literally. I was off balance, a little nauseous. I came to my table, I'm like, Rich, I don't feel good. It's like unsteady, nauseous, not very happy. It's like, Mom, who does it belong to? And I'm like, oh, I was just at the bar. How many people were drinking? And how many people are unhappy there? And I'm like, okay, return it back. And I was fine. Body senses everything around me. And it tells me. That's when there is an app. If you have a Apple phone or Android or Windows, doesn't matter. The app that can help with all of this is, guess, Access Consciousness, who does it belong to? That's the name of the app. And it reminds you to ask questions throughout the day. And you can put it on different schedule. You can do it every 10 minutes. You can do it every hour and so on and so forth. The only thing, it doesn't work in the background. It has to be open. One of the windows has to be open. But it's free, and I wonder what it can create for you if you do at least 3 days nonstop for every thought, feeling, and emotion that you have. Who does it belong to? Just try. This has been magic for me, but it might not work for you. And just play with it again with the energy of wonder. Will it work? Have no clue, but I'll try. I will give it a good shot to see if it will change anything in my body, if it will do anything for my psyche. Because a lot of people's depression went away because it wasn't theirs. And time for our second break of the show. And you've been listening to Creating Abundance with Ease with myself, Dr. Helen Gitlevich, on Inspired Choices Network. We will be right back.
Many of us live our lives based on karma, on the past, and all the unfinished business in our lives. What would you choose if you did not have karma, or if you could choose what you desired instead? By tuning into Creating Abundance with Ease radio show with Dr. Helen Gitlevich, you'll receive tools and inspiration you can use to create the abundance in your life. You are an infinite being with infinite choices. Are you ready to have ease with creating abundance? Listen for Creating Abundance with Ease radio show every Wednesday at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 11 a.m. Central, 10 a.m. Mountain, and 9 a.m. Pacific on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com.
Magic and abundance are everywhere. What if you could tap into abundance and start creating your life with complete and total ease? Working with Dr. Helen Gitlevich will give you exactly that, total ease in creating abundance in your life. Dr. Gitlevich creates classes all over the world, both in person and online. She works with you to create abundance with your money, with your body, with your relationships, with all areas of your life with total ease. Connect with Dr. Helen Gitlevich at creatingabundancewithease.com. Her contribution in your world will be a noticeable gift in a very short period of time.
How wonderful would it be to carry your favorite Inspired Choices Network host with you throughout your day? Well, now you can. Inspired Choices Network now has its very own mobile app. Our free app offers live streaming shows, along with thousands of podcasts and TV episodes. Our shows cover a wide variety of topics. Whether you're waking up with us, carrying us through the day, and taking us to bed with you, we're always here for you to enjoy. We're easy to find. Just search for Inspired Choices Network in the Apple App Store or Google Play Store.
This is the Creating Abundance with Ease show with Dr. Helen Gitlevich. To participate in the program, join our live studio audience in our chat room at inspiredchoicesnetwork.com. You can also make the choice to ask or comment by email by sending to helen.g@att.net. Now, back to the program.
Welcome forward, everyone. I'm Dr. Helen Gitlevich on Creating Abundance with Ease on Inspired Choices Network. And today our show topic is, when did you lose yourself? And in the first two parts, if you missed that, you can always listen in the recording. We were talking about the tool of who does it belong to, because that's how we lose ourselves. We pick up other people's thoughts, feelings, and emotions, but also we mimic other people. We look at somebody and let's say we like somebody. That's good. That's fine. You can emulate them. But a lot of times, instead of emulating, we mimic them. But when we are mimicking them, we are taking not just the good stuff that we like, but everything, including their things that you might not like their character. Maybe you like how they make money. So you want to emulate that part. But when you mimic it, you take all their diseases, their pains, their aches, their anger, all of that. Because you cannot mimic just one part. You can emulate that, but you cannot mimic it. When you mimic, mimic the whole thing. The other thing we mimic is when we don't like. That's funny. Oh, I don't like that person. Oh, I don't understand, especially when we try to understand. That's it. We're mimicking them. And that's even more insidious because we mimic them. We say we'll never be like them. And yet, in order not to be, we have to become them and then suppress it. So that is suppressed. We don't even know we mimic them. It just comes out sideways. It's like, let's say, I will never be like my mom. And yet you find yourself saying things that she did or acting like her periodically and like, oh, shoot, I did it again like my mom. I don't want to be like mom. I'll never be like my mom. And yet you again act like her because you're mimicking your mother when you're actually saying, I will never be like somebody, like your mom. The other thing is when we are sympathized with somebody, we're mimicking them. A lot of times, because people choose whatever they choose, doesn't matter what they choose. And they will choose it until they don't choose it. And yet we try to help, we try to sympathize, empathize. What if we can help without sympathizing or empathizing? What if we ask, how can I contribute here? What can I contribute here? And just give that instead of, oh, poor thing, how can I help you? That actually creates that mimicking in our body of all those diseases, sometimes emotions like, oh, how can she act like that? Or how can he act like that? And then we act like that again. So that's part when we lose ourselves by becoming somebody else. And what if you don't have to? What if we can actually be ourselves? Okay, again, the same tool. Who does it belong to? And everywhere where I'm mimicking those people, I send it back or destroy and uncreate it. And if you've never done any access, you can use a clearing. You can go to the website, theclearingstatement.com, and use a clearing statement. If you did access, you can use a clearing statement. Because a lot of things very simple to get rid of just by clearing the energy of the light that's stuck there. Because all of those limitations, all of those things that limit us or makes us not us, or lose ourselves and become like everybody else, those are lies. Some people talk about improving yourself. There is nothing to improve. When we are ourselves, we are the space of being, and that's magical. It's not improving, it's letting go of everything that's not us. What if it's that simple? What if it's just by letting go that's not us? All those layers, all those things that we picked up, maybe even in a different lifetime. Doesn't have to be this lifetime. All those implants, explants, imprints that's sticking us, if we let them go and be that space, I wonder, who would we be? When would we be? How would we be? I'm looking at the sky right now, and there are clouds. They're very fluffy. Some of them angry looking. Maybe it's going to rain or not. But the space in between is so blue. And that's a space of being. The clouds are all those things that's not us, that's covering. And yes, those are the things that create the rain, the storms, the problems, the lack. What if we just be with those things and even enjoy them? Because some of them are beautiful. Some of them are not so beautiful. And some of them might be ugly. And yet, can any of this hurt the sky? Even the lightning or thunderstorm, can they hurt sky? No. So if we be the space of being, we be like the sky, the blue sky, that just space. And whatever is going on in this reality will not harm us. We just look at that, it's like, interesting, it's raining. Oh, Earth needs raining, cool. We'll support it, we'll contribute to it. Oh, it's a sunshine, cool. Well, because some people, oh, it's too hot. Oh, it's raining. They find problem with everything. What if instead of looking for a problem, we just be that space of joy and enjoy no matter what kind of weather it is, no matter what kind of season it is, temperature. Well, if it's cold, we can dress up and enjoy it. If it's hot, we can undress and enjoy it, or turn on air conditioner. Because there is a lot of ways of dealing with different things and not calling them problems. How often do we call everything problems? And what if it's not? What if it's just things that we chose to play with? Because there are different movies for different tastes. There are horror movies, which I don't like, but some people enjoy them. Some people enjoy, like I enjoy comedies and fantasies and all kinds of movies, but not the horror, not the graphic violence. And yet there are some people who do enjoy it. And what if it's not a wrongness? Same in life. Some people might enjoy suffering, even though they say they don't. They would not have created them if they didn't enjoy it. And I'm not talking about enjoying cognitively. It's more about the soul chose it to go through that. Maybe enjoyment is the wrong word, but they chose it for some reason. I'm kind of like looking at the time of my suffering when I had my surgery and was feeling bad and things were going on in my life. I was busy. I was kind of like, okay, it created something different, something beautiful. And yet I probably, in some ways, in a sick, twisted way, probably enjoyed it because that was not boring. I just finished the 3-day body class and we were talking about that a lot of times. And it's not cognitive. It's not like I say, oh, I'm bored, I will create problems. No, it's that crazy mind, that illogical mind that creates that I'm bored, so I'll create problems. And that's when being like everybody else. That's losing ourselves because everybody has problems, so I'll have problems, so I will not be different, so I will not be judged. That logic creates all of those things in our lives that we don't like. And what if we actually let it go? What if we not be like everybody else? Oh, wait, look at yourself. Can you be like everybody else? No. And by the way, everybody is unique. Everybody cannot be like everybody else. Even twins, when they're born, yeah, they look like each other. And yet they're two different, separate individuals, and they will never be like each other. They might like each other, but they will not be like each other. They have their own personality, and eventually, well, probably from the moment one, mother can separate them. She knows which one is which. And then eventually everybody else will see they're different. There's no two people alike. And it's time for our third and final break of the show. When we return, I'll just remind you where to find me. And you've been listening to Creating Abundance with myself, Dr. Helen Gitlevich, on Inspired Choices Network. We'll be right back.
Many of us live our lives based on karma, on the past, and all the unfinished business in our lives. What would you choose if you did not have karma, or if you could choose what you desired instead? By tuning into Creating Abundance with Ease radio show with Dr. Helen Gitlevich, you'll receive tools and inspiration you can use to create the abundance in your life. You are an infinite being with infinite choices. Are you ready to have ease with creating abundance? Listen for Creating Abundance with Ease radio show every Wednesday at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 11 a.m. Central, 10 a.m. Mountain, and 9 a.m. Pacific on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com.
This is the Creating Abundance with Ease show with Dr. Helen Gitlevich. To participate in the program, join our live studio audience in our chat room at InspiredChoicesNetwork.com. You can also make the choice to ask or comment by email by sending to helen.g@att.net. Now, back to the program.
Welcome forward, everyone. I'm Dr. Helen Gitlevich on Creating Abundance with Ease on Inspired Choices Network. And today our show topic is where or when did you lose yourself? And in the first 3 parts, we were talking about a lot of different things, the way we lose ourselves, either by picking up other people's stuff in the first part, in the second, mimicking other people, and in the third, we were talking about how unique we are, and yet we're trying to be like everybody else. And if you're just joining us, I'm Dr. Helen Gitlevich. I'm creating abundance with ease, and I've been facilitating classes around the world in Access Consciousness and Akashic Records. And yes, we talked about how unique and separate individuals we are. And yet, when we are being us, being that space, we are also being connected to oneness, to everyone. And it's like Dr. Dane here said, we are a drop in the ocean, and yet we are the ocean itself. When we separate, that's when we become not ourselves. And it's that losing ourselves creates the separation, creates all those things that we call problems. And yet, they don't have to bother us, just like clouds in the sky. Just want to remind you that you can always contact me on Facebook, Instagram, email, Messenger, WhatsApp, Telegram. There is so many ways of contacting me, and in 2 languages, Russian or English. I do speak both. I speak both languages. I read, write both languages. And you can always call me through all those things like Telegram, WhatsApp, and regular messages. You can go to my website, Creating Abundance with Ease, and there is a gift for you if you first time contacting me or not. There is expansion meditation where when you signed up for my email list, you'll get a gift. It's totally free, and you can always unsubscribe. The email doesn't come out more than, you think, once or twice a month, unless there is like some classes. I might send like a little note, and we don't usually spam you. Also, this is going to be, I'm going to take some break in the live shows. You will still be listening some recordings for a couple of months. Enjoy them, because I just need time for myself. I might pop in with Facebook Lives or something else, but at this moment, and the recordings are amazing. I have tons of them because I've been doing it over 2 years, close to 3 years, I think. So you have a lot to choose from. You can also just listen to them in the archive. You can find the podcast on 750 different platforms, including iTunes, Spotify, and YouTube, SoundCloud. Also video on TV, something like Binge TV has them, and Apple TV. So much valuable content to choose from. Enjoy them. Meanwhile, I'd like to invite you to a space of being, and I'd like to do that meditation with you, maybe a little different variation today. So just relax, take a deep breath, and I might or might not use some symphony energy, which you can find through Access Consciousness. And just, as I said, just relax and enjoy. Take a deep breath through the top of your head to the tips of your toes, and from the tips of your toes to the top of your head. Open your crown and allow the light of the universe to flow through your body, through your feet into earth, and pull the energy of our planet into your feet, legs, body, and let it exit through your head. Bring attention to your heart and allow yourself to expand. Maybe kind of like to the size of the room you're in, and then kilometer or mile, 10 miles, 10 kilometers, because there are people listening from all over the world. 100 miles, 100 kilometers, 1,000 miles, I think it's probably 16,000 kilometers. More, 100,000 miles, 160,000 kilometers, million miles. Make yourself as big as our Earth, solar system, and beyond, to the infinity. And just allow yourself that space. Bring your attention to the body and see if there is any dark spot, and just allow the light to clear them. Because there is no darkness, there is only lack of light. Just turn on the light in your body and allow that light to expand with you. More, even more. And then again, look inside your body, your organs, your cells. If there is any darkness, just allow it to clear with the light that you're pulling in, either from Earth or the sky, or both. And again, what if you are greater than you think you are? What if by being that space, you can create magic, not only in your life, but in the world? What if we don't concentrate on the problems of the world, problems that you have, but be that space that melts everything, melts all the problems, melts all the limitation, and you just choose to be that space of magic, to be that space of allowance, to be that space of no judgment, because that's what it is. Can you judge anything in that space? For just a second, notice, can you judge? Can you be angry? Can you think? Unless you contract. There are no thoughts, feelings, or emotions in that space. This is acoustical vibration of the being. This is who you are. This is what you are before you lost yourself. Allow yourself to be that space. And one of the ways to achieve it through gratitude and expansion, and just allow yourself to be grateful for everything and everyone in your life. And we have only like a minute left in the show. Just want to remind you, you can stay in that space as long as you like, even after the show. You don't have to contract to be present in your life. You can function from this space. Believe me, from that space, everything becomes much more ease. And just allow yourself the joy of being, the happiness. The more joyful and happy you are, the more you can actually infect others with your joy and happiness. I've heard people saying, when we are with you, we feel lighter and we feel happier. Just be that light for everyone in your life. No pressure. You can still choose misery for 10 seconds and then you can choose you. Love you all and see you when I see you. Just be you. Don't lose yourself and don't be like everyone else. Mwah. Take care and next week. Bye.
Thank you for choosing to listen to Creating Abundance with Ease radio show. Dr. Helen Gitlevich will return next Wednesday at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 11 a.m. Central, 10 a.m. Mountain, and 9 a.m. Pacific on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com. We hope you'll join us. Until then, have fun using the tools of the week in your life and start creating magic in your life and your body.